Good morning to all. This is Dr. Padma, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today's our topic is threshold voltage, capacitance voltage, characteristics and ideal CV characteristics of the metal oxide semiconductor field effective transistor. So today we will discuss about the threshold voltage, capacitance voltage characteristics and ideal CV characteristics of the MOSFETs. First topic is threshold voltage. So threshold voltage is defined as the minimum applied gate voltage required to achieve the threshold inversion point. So threshold voltage means the gate voltage, the applied gate voltage is required to achieve the threshold inversion point. That voltage is known as the threshold voltage. So threshold voltage means the gate voltage is required to achieve the threshold condition or threshold inversion point. That voltage is called as the threshold voltage. So the threshold inversion point is defined as the condition when the surface potential pi s, where pi s is the surface potential, pi s equal to 2 pi fp for the p-type semiconductors. So the condition is the surface potential Ps must be equal to 2 pi fp, that is for the p-type semiconductor, and pi s, surface potential pi s equal to 2 pi fn for n-type semiconductors. So the threshold voltage means the applied gate voltage is required to achieve the threshold point or threshold inversion point. That voltage is called as the threshold voltage. So the threshold voltage is defined as the condition. Here the condition is the surface potential pi s equal to 2 pi fp for p-type substrates or pi s equal to 2 pi fn for n-type substrates or n-type semiconductors. So here the figure 1 shows the charge distribution through the metal oxide semiconductor device at the threshold inversion point for the p-type semiconductor. So let us taking the p-type semiconductor substrate. Here the diagram represents the charge distribution through the metal oxide semiconductor MOS device at the threshold inversion point for the p-type semiconductor substrate. Here this is the metal oxide semiconductor device. We are using the p-type semiconductor substrate. So this one is the metal oxide and this is the p-type semiconductor substrate. This is the charge of the metal. This is the charges of the oxide layer QSS dash. Here XDT is the depletion layer width. So depletion layer width. XDT is the depletion layer width or space charge region width. So the figure represents the charge distribution through the metal oxide semiconductor device at the threshold inversion point for the p-type semiconductor substrate. So the space charge width or the depletion layer width has reached its maximum value. Here the XDT reaches the maximum value. So XDT means the space charge layer width or depletion layer width which is reached to maximum value. So we will assume that there is an equivalent oxide of charge QSS and the positive charge on the metal gate threshold is QMT. So on the metal the oxide is QMT and QSS is the oxide layer charge. So the prime on the charge terms indicates charge per unit area. So here the QSS dash and QMT dash. So QSS dash means that is the surface charges for the oxide layer. QMT dash is the surface charges on the metal at the threshold condition. So the prime here, the prime indicates that the charge term indicates that the charge per unit area. So the prime indicates means the prime means we are assuming that the charge per unit area. Even though we are assuming that the surface has been inverted, if we are assuming that the surface is inverted, we will neglect the inversion layer charge at the threshold inversion point. So let us assuming that the surface has been inverted, we will neglect the inversion layer charge at the threshold condition or threshold inversion point. From the conversion of the charge, we can write QMT dash plus QSS dash equal to mod of QSD dash maximum. That is the equation 1. So for the conversion of the charge, we can write QMT dash or plus QSS dash equal to modulus of QSD dash maximum. That is equation 1. So where QSD dash maximum equal to E into NA into XDT, where E is the charge of the electron, E is the charge of electron. So, and NA is the acceptor concentration, NA is the acceptor concentration. And XDT is the, already we know that space charge width. So QSD dash maximum equal to E into NA into XDT, that is equation 2. Here E is the charge of the electron, NA is the acceptor concentration, and XDT is the space charge width. So here the energy band diagram of the metal oxide semiconductor system, we are using the positive gate voltage is shown in the figure. This is the metal oxide semiconductor energy band diagram. Here we are using the positive gate voltage. This is the energy band diagram for the mass structure when we are using the positive gate voltage. So the mass structure with the positive applied gate voltage. So this is the normal metal oxide semiconductor energy band diagram when we are applying the positive gate voltage. So as we mentioned, an applied gate voltage will change the voltage across the oxide. So we are applying the positive gate voltage. So the applied gate voltage will also change the voltage across the oxide layer and will change the surface potential. It will change the surface potential. Then gate voltage Vg equal to delta Vx plus delta pi s, that equal to Vox plus pi s plus pi ms. So the applied gate voltage will modify the voltage across the oxide and it will also change the surface potential across the oxide layer. So then the gate voltage Vc equal to delta V oxide plus delta pi s equal to Vox oxide layer voltage plus pi s plus pi ms. Here pi ms is the surface potential between the metal and semiconductor. At the threshold, we can define that Vg equal to Vtn, where Vg is the gate voltage, Vtn is the threshold voltage that creates an electron inversion layer charge. So we can define that the gate voltage is equal to threshold voltage. Vtn is the threshold voltage which creates the electron inversion layer charge. That is the surface potential is pi s equal to 2 pi fp. The condition is at the threshold condition. So the threshold voltage Vtn equal to Voxt plus 2 pi fp plus pi ms. So where Voxt, V oxide layer, Voxt is the voltage across the oxide. Vox is the voltage across the oxide and T mentioned that the threshold inversion point. So at threshold condition we can define Vc equal to Vtn, where Vtn is the threshold voltage that creates the electron inversion layer. So the surface potential pi s equal to 2 pi fp, which is at a threshold condition. So Vtn is the threshold voltage that equal to Voxt plus 2 pi fp plus pi ms, that is equation 4, where Voxt is the voltage across the oxide at the threshold inversion point. So the voltage Voxt can be related to the change on the metal and to the oxide capacitance. So the Voxt can be related to the charge on the metal and to the oxide capacitance, that can be given as Voxt equal to QMT dash by COX, where COX is the oxide layer capacitance. COX is the oxide layer capacitance. So the voltage VOXT can be related to the charge on the metal and to the oxide capacitance. So here QMT is the charges on the metal, COX is the oxide layer capacitance. So the ratio of the QMT and COX. QMT dash is the charges on the metal surface, COX is the oxide layer capacitance, where again COX is the oxide capacitance per unit area. So using equation 1, we can write VOXT equal to QMT dash by COX, that equal to 1 by COX. So in the place of QMT dash, we can replace with QSD dash maximum minus QSS dash. So that is the equation 6. Finally, the threshold voltage can be written as VTN equal to QSD dash modulus of QSD dash maximum, that is divided by COX minus QSSDS by COX plus pi ms plus 2 pi FP. This is the finally the threshold voltage can be written as the VTN equal to QSD dash maximum divided by COX minus QSS dash by COX plus pi ms plus 2 pi FP. So the threshold voltage VTN equal to QSD dash maximum minus QSS dash. So here QSS dash into TOX by epsilon OX plus pi ms plus 2 pi FP. So here COX we are writing as the, so COX is writing as the epsilon OX by TOX, where epsilon X is the permittivity of the oxide layer, TOX is the thickness of the oxide layer. So the capacitance of the oxide layer can be written as epsilon oxide by T oxide. Epsilon oxide is the permittivity of the oxide layer, T oxide is the thickness of the oxide layer. So finally VTN equal to QSD dash maximum minus QSS dash into TOX by epsilon oxide plus pi ms plus 2 pi FP. So using the definition of the flat band voltage, we can also express the threshold voltage as VTN equal to QS dash maximum divided by COX plus VFB plus 2 pi FP. For a given semiconductor material, the oxide material and gate material and the threshold voltage is a function of the semiconductor doping, oxide charge and oxide thickness. So for a given, if you take any semiconductor, for a given semiconductor material, the oxide material and the gate material and the threshold voltage, these three are the function of the semiconductor doping, either ND or NA, that is the doping concentration or donor concentration or acceptor concentration, and which is also function of the surface charges, that is the oxide charges QSS and oxide layer thickness TOX. So for a given semiconductor material, the oxide material and the gate metal and the threshold voltage, these three are the function of the semiconductor doping, oxide charge QSS and oxide thickness TOX. So a negative threshold voltage for a p-type substrate implies a depletion mode of the device. So if you apply the positive threshold voltage, means it will give the inversion mode. So a negative threshold voltage for a p-type substrate which will give the depletion mode of the device. So a negative voltage must be applied to the gate in order to make the inversion. So a layer charge is equal to 0, whereas a positive gate voltage will induce a large inversion layer charge. So a negative voltage for a p-type semiconductor implies a depletion mode of the device. So a negative voltage must be applied to the gate in order to make a inversion layer. The charge must be equal to 0, whereas a positive gate voltage will induce a large inversion layer of the charge. So figure 3 is a plot of the threshold voltage. So it is a plot of the threshold voltage versus as a function of the acceptor concentration Na, that is the doping concentration for various positive oxide values. We are taking the p-type substrate, that is the doping concentration is Na. Na means acceptor concentration. So the figure 3 is a plot of the threshold voltage versus threshold voltage versus acceptor concentration for the p-type substrate. So for p-type substrate, the doping concentration is Na values. For the oxide trapped charge, here TOX oxide layer thickness is 500 angstroms. We are using the aluminum gate. We are using the aluminum metal gate. So this is the function for various p-type doping concentration for various oxides of the trapped charge. Here trapped charge is TOX is 500 angstroms. We are using the aluminum gate. We may note that the p-type semiconductor must be somewhat heavily doped in order to obtain the enhancement mode of the device. So, in order to obtain the enhancement mode of the device, we are doping the p-type semiconductor is somewhat heavily doped compared to the normal p-type semiconductor. So, the previous derivation of the threshold voltage assumed a p-type semiconductor substrate. So, the previous expression is for the only p-type semiconductor substrate. So, the same type of derivation can be done with n-type semiconductor substrate also. So, we derived for the p-type substrate, the similar expression for also derived for the n-type semiconductor substrate. Where negative gate voltage can induce an inversion layer of holes at the oxide semiconductor interface. So, for n-type, we are taking the negative gate voltage. For p-type, we are using the positive gate voltage. For n-type, we are using the negative gate voltage, which can induce the inversion layer of the holes at the oxide semiconductor interface. So, figure 4 shows the energy band diagram of the metal oxide semiconductor structure with n-type substrate. So, the bending is downward means it is a n-type substrate. So, the figure shows the energy band diagram of the mass structure with n-type substrate with an applied negative gate voltage. Here the gate voltage is negative voltage. We are applying negative gate voltage for the n-type substrate. The threshold voltage for this case can be derived and is given by, this is the energy band diagram through the metal oxide semiconductor structure for n-type substrate for a negative applied voltage. So here already we know that pi s is the surface potential, pi m dash is the metal work function, Vox is the oxide across voltage across the oxide layer. So the threshold voltage for this case can be derived and is given by VTP, V threshold equal to minus of QSD dash maximum minus QSS dash into TOX by epsilon ox plus pi ms plus 2 pi Fn, that is equation 10. Where pi ms, the surface potential between the metal and semiconductor value is pi m dash minus chi dash plus Ec by 2E plus minus pi Fn, where chi dash is the electron affinity, Ec is the energy gap, E is the charge of the electron, pi m dash is the metal work function. So pi ms equal to pi m dash minus chi dash plus Ec by 2E minus pi Fn, that is equation 11. So QSD dash maximum equal to E into Nd into XDT. In previous case, we are taking E into Na into XDT for p-type semiconductor. So in this case, we are taking Nd. Nd is the donor concentration for n-type materials. So End into XDT. So where XDT is the space charge width, that equal to 4 epsilon s pi Fn by E into Nd whole to the power of half. That is the value of the space charge width, where pi Fn equal to Vt into ln of Nd by Ni. That is equation 14. So we may note that the XDT and pi Fn are defined as the positive quantities. So XDT value and pi Fn are defined as the positive quantities. We may also note that the notation of the threshold voltage VTP is the threshold voltage that will induce and the inversion layer of the holes. So it is the inversion layer of the holes because it is a n-type substrate. So we will later drop the n and p subscript notation on the threshold voltage, but for the moment the notation may be useful for the clarity. So we are representing n and p subscript for the notation in the threshold voltage. So as mentioned previously, the mass capacitor structure is the heart of the metal oxide semiconductor semiconductor field effect transistor. So the mass structure or mass capacitor structure is the heart of the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So a great deal of information about the mass device and the oxide semiconductor interface can be obtained from the capacitance versus voltage or CV characteristics of the device. Now we will discuss about the second topic, capacitance voltage characteristics. So mass capacitance means the CV characteristics are the important. CV characteristics means capacitance voltage characteristics. So the mass capacitor structure is the heart of the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So the deal of information about the mass device and the oxide semiconductor interface can be obtained from the capacitance versus voltage or the CV characteristics of the device. The capacitance of the device is defined as C equal to dq by dV, where dq is the charge magnitude of the differential change in the charge on one plate as a function of the differential change in the voltage. So general formula for capacitance C equal to Q by V, where Q is the charge, V is the voltage. But here in mass structure we are representing C equal to dq by dV, where dq is the differential changes or differences in the charge on one plate as a function of the differential change in the voltage. dq is the change in the charge, dV is the change in the voltage. So the ratio will be represented as the capacitance. Capacitance C equal to dq by dV. So the capacitance is a small signal or AC parameter and is measured by superimposing a small AC voltage on a applied DC gate voltage. So the capacitance is a small signal or it is a AC parameter and which is measured by superimposing the small AC signal is applied on the DC voltage signal. So the capacitance then is measured as a function of the applied DC gate voltage. So the capacitance can be measured with the applied DC gate voltage. These are the CV characteristics. Here we are using voltage as the DC gate, applied DC gate voltage. So the capacitance is a small signal which is an AC parameter which is measured by the superimposing of the small AC voltage on the DC gate voltage. So first we will consider the ideal CV characteristics of the mass capacitor. So now we will discuss about the ideal CV characteristics. Ideal CV characteristics. So first we will consider the ideal CV characteristics of the mass capacitor and then discuss about the some deviations that occur from the ideal conditions. We will initially assuming that there is a zero charge trapped in the oxide and also that there is no charge trapped at the oxide semiconductor. So here the trapped oxide. So trapped oxide is there is no trapped oxide inside the oxide semiconductor interface. So here we will initially assume that there is zero charge trapped in the oxide and also there is a charge trapped at the oxide semiconductor interface. So there are three operating conditions for the mass capacitors. First one is the accumulation condition, second one is the depletion condition and third one is the inversion condition. These are the three important conditions in the mass capacitor operation. First one is the accumulation, second one is the depletion and third one is the inversion. These are the three factors in the mass capacitor. So figure shows the energy band diagram of the mass capacitor for the accumulation mode. This is the accumulation region. This is the metal oxide p-type semiconductor. So the energy band diagram for the metal oxide semiconductor. Here the semiconductor is p-type semiconductor which shows the accumulation condition. So here the energy band diagram of the mass capacitor with a p-type substrate for the case when a negative voltage is applied to the gate. When we are applying the negative gate voltage, it will give the accumulation region. So here we are applying the negative gate voltage. So inducing an accumulation layer of holes in the semiconductor at the oxide semiconductor interface. So holes are accumulated in the oxide semiconductor interface. Here holes are accumulated. So the energy band diagram of the mass capacitor with a p-type substrate for the case you are applying the negative gate voltage. When we are applying the negative gate voltage, then it induces the accumulation layer of the holes at the oxide semiconductor interface. Holes are accumulated at the oxide and semiconductor interface. So this is a differential charge distribution at accumulation for a differential in the gate voltage. C equal to dq by dv. So this is the differential charge distribution in the accumulation region for a differential change in the gate voltage. That is dq dash and dv dash. This is the differential change in the charge. So a small differential change in voltage across the metal oxide semiconductor structure will cause a differential change in the charge on the metal gate and also in the whole accumulation region as shown in the next diagram, that is the figure 5b. This is the figure 5b. This is the differential charge distribution in the accumulation for a differential change in the gate voltage. So a small differential change in voltage across the metal oxide semiconductor will cause a differential change in the charge on the metal gate in the accumulation region. So the differential changes in the charge density occur at the edges of the oxide layer as in the parallel plate capacitor. So the differential changes in the charge density occur at the edges of the oxide layer as in the parallel plate capacitor. The capacitance C dash per unit area of the mass capacitor for this accumulation mode is just the oxide capacitance. So in accumulation layer, C dash, the capacitance per unit area is the oxide capacitance COX. So C dash is the capacitance in the accumulation region equal to COX. Here the accumulation layer capacitance is equal to the oxide layer capacitance. Already we know that oxide layer capacitance COX is the ratio of the permittivity of the oxide layer divided by the thickness of the oxide layer, that is TOX. So here the accumulation capacitance C dash is equal to the oxide layer capacitance, that equal to epsilon oxide divided by T oxide. So epsilon oxide is the permittivity of the oxide layer and TOX is the oxide layer thickness. So the energy band diagram of the depletion layer, a mass capacitor for the depletion mode. So this is the p-type semiconductor substrate. That's why here we are showing the upward bending. So where xd is the space charge layer thickness. This is the metal oxide p-type semiconductor which represents the depletion layer capacitance. That is the second condition. So figure shows the energy band diagram of the mass device when a small positive voltage. So in the previous case, for accumulation region we are applying the negative gate voltage. For depletion region we are applying the positive gate voltage. That is the difference between the accumulation and depletion. For accumulation region we are applying the negative gate voltage. For the depletion layer we are applying the positive gate voltage. So which induces the space charge region in the semiconductor. When we are applying the positive gate voltage to achieve the depletion region, here the space charge region is occurred in the semiconductor. So figure 6b shows the charge distribution through the device for the depletion layer condition. So this is the differential charge distribution at the depletion layer for differential change in the gate, that is the dq and dv. So xd is the depletion layer widthness. So the oxide capacitance and capacitance of the depletion layer are in series. So here the oxide capacitance and the depletion region capacitance both are in series. A small differential change in the voltage across the capacitor will cause a differential change in the space charge width. So if the changes in the voltage across the capacitor will causes the change in the space charge region width, that is the xd. xd will change due to the change in the differential change in the voltage dv. So the corresponding differential changes in the charge densities are shown in the figure. So the total capacitance, those are in the series. The oxide layer capacitance COX and the CSD dash, that is the capacitance in the depletion layer. Both are the series. Both are in series means we can represent the depletion layer capacitance 1 by C dash depletion equal to 1 by COX plus CSD dash. That is equation 1. C depletion layer widthness equal to COX into CSD dash by COX plus CSD dash. That is, we are taking the LCM. So that is C dash depletion value will be COX into CSD dash divided by COX plus CSD dash. Where COX already we know that epsilon OX by TOX, and CSD dash equal to epsilon S by XD, where epsilon S is the permittivity of the semiconductor and XD is the space charge width. So equation 2 can be written as C depletion capacitance. The depletion layer capacitance C dash equal to COX divided by 1 plus COX into CSD dash, that equal to COX means epsilon X OX by TOX. By substituting in the place of COX, we are substituting epsilon OX by TOX. Then we can obtain the equation epsilon OX by TOX plus epsilon OX by epsilon S into XD. As the space charge width increases, the total capacitance is C dash. So here the space charge width XD is in the denominator. If you increase the XD value, then the total depletion capacitance will be decreases. If your space charge width increases, means the total depletion capacitance value will be decreases. We had defined the threshold inversion point to be the condition when the maximum depletion width is reached, but there is essentially zero inversion charge density. So the condition will yield a minimum capacitance, that is C dash minimum, which is given by C dash minimum capacitance, that equal to epsilon OX by TOX plus epsilon OX divided by epsilon S into XDT. That is the minimum capacitance C minimum dash equal to epsilon OX by TOX plus epsilon OX by epsilon S into XDT. So figure 7a shows the energy band diagram for the inversion condition. That is the third condition. So first one accumulation, second one is the depletion, and third one is the inversion conditions. This is the energy band diagram for the inversion condition. That's why here for p-type semiconductor also the inversion means it is showing the upward bending. So in the ideal case, a small incremental change in the voltage across the mass capacitor will cause a differential change in the inversion layer charge density. Here there is a small increment change in the voltage. If you increase the voltage across the mass capacitor, it will cause a differential change in the inversion layer charge density. The space charge width does not change in this case. So if the inversion charge can be respond to the change in the capacitor and voltage as shown in the figure 7. The differential change distribution at the inversion for low frequency differential change in the gate voltage. So then the capacitance is gain again just the oxide capacitance. So already we know that in accumulation region the capacitance, the accumulation layer capacitance is equal to the oxide layer capacitance. In this third case also the inversion layer capacitance C inversion is equal to COX. COX already we know that epsilon OX by TOX, that is equation 4. So here the figure 8 shows the ideal capacitance versus gate voltage. Ideal capacitance, ideal CV characteristics or CV characteristics of the mass capacitors are fabricated with the p-type substitution, p-type substrate. Here we can observe that here this is the accumulation region. Accumulation region, the capacitance is equal to COX. So this is the depletion region. This one is the depletion region, and the third one is the strong inversion region. Strong inversion region also the oxide, the capacitance, inversion layer capacitance is equal to oxide layer capacitance. This is the ideal low frequency. This is the CV characteristics at low frequency. So the CV characteristics of the mass capacitor with a p-type substrate, that is operated at the low frequency capacitance, low frequency CV characteristics. These are the CV characteristics. This is the accumulation layer. This one is the depletion layer, the middle one. So first saturated one is the accumulation region, the middle one which is the depletion region. Again the third one is the Here this is the inversion region, this one is the moderate inversion. Strong inversion and moderate inversion, two conditions are there. So this one is the strong inversion region, the middle one is the moderate inversion region. Total three conditions are represented in the ideal CV characteristics. Those are operated at the low frequency conditions. First one is the accumulation, the second region is the depletion region. The inversion region, we have the two more regions, those are the moderate inversion region and strong inversion region. So the three dashed segment corresponding to three components, COX, CSD and C minimum. The solid curve is the ideal net capacitance of the mass capacitors. The moderate inversion, which is indicated in the figure, is the transition region between the point when only the space charge density changes with the gate voltage and when only the inversion charge density changes with the gate voltage. The moderate inversion region represents the changes in that is the transition region between the point when only the space charge density changes with the gate voltage and inversion charge density is also changes with the gate voltage represented in the moderate inversion region. So the point and the curve that corresponding to flat band condition. The flat band condition occurs between the accumulation region and depletion region. The flat band condition occurred at the in between the accumulation region and depletion region. The capacitance of the flat band is given by CFB dash equal to epsilon OX divided by TOX plus epsilon OX divided by epsilon S into under square root of KT by E into epsilon S divided by E into Na, where K is the Boltzmann constant, T is the absolute temperature. That is the capacitance for the flat band condition. We may note that the flat band capacitance is the function of the oxide thickness as well as the semiconductor doping. Here the flat band capacitance depends on the oxide layer thickness and the semiconductor doping concentration. If you assume that the oxide capacitance per unit area COX value is 1.9175 into 10 power 7 farad per centimeter square, the capacitance per unit area, and the channel length is L equal to 2 micrometers and W equal to 20 micrometers respectively, then the total gate oxide capacitance is COXT equal to C, this is the formula, COX into L into W. So already the oxide layer capacitance per unit area is 1.9175 into 10 power minus 7 into, that is 2 micrometers, we are converted 2 into 10 power minus 4 centimeters and 20 micrometers we are converted into centimeters, 20 into 10 power minus 4. So by substituting this we will get the answer 7.67 into 10 power minus 14 farad. So it can be represented in the picofarad, 0.0767 picofarad. So the total oxide capacitance in a typical mass device is very small. So the same type of ideal CV characteristics is obtained for the mass capacitors with the N-type substrate. So in the previous discussion we discussed about the ideal mass capacitors with P-type substrate. Now we are the ideal CV characteristics also obtained for the N-type substrate by changing the sign of the voltage. So here this one is the diagram is opposite to the P-type substrate. So in previous section we observed that the accumulation is in the left side region, but we are observing that here the right side region. This is the accumulation layer, this is the depletion layer, and here this one is the strong inversion, this one is the moderate inversion. This is quite opposite to the P-type substrate. So the accumulation condition is obtained for a positive gate bias and the inversion condition is obtained for the negative gate bias. These are opposite to the P-type substrates. These are the references for the semiconductor devices. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.